645 times. That's the number of dragon-level threats King has supposedly obliterated with his bare hands. His most legendary feat, the ultimate Hellfire Burst Wave Motion Cannon. 3 dragon-level monsters instantly vaporized in front of multiple S-class witnesses. Here's the truth. Guru killed them all in half a second, while King just shouted random technique names. The dust cleared, everyone saw devastation, and assumed King's ultimate attack did it. This perfectly encapsulates the Hero Association's biggest flaw. They've built an entire ranking system that measures everything except actual power. King sits at rank 5 in S-class, despite having 0 combat ability. Meanwhile, Saitama, who could obliterate every monster on the planet simultaneously, started in C-class because he bombed the written exam. I'm going to break down every rank in the Hero Association and expose how this system fails at its core purpose, identifying who can actually save humanity. To understand how the system fails at the top, we have to start at the bottom, C-class, where the bureaucracy begins to crush genuine heroism. 390 heroes trapped in bureaucratic hell. That's C-class, the largest rank by far, filled with people who genuinely want to help but get crushed under administrative nonsense. The weekly quota system reveals everything wrong with how the association operates. C-class heroes must complete 1 heroic activity per week or face removal from the registry. Sounds reasonable until you realize what counts as heroic activity. Saitama's journey through C-class exposes this absurdity perfectly. He defeated the most dangerous monsters the world had ever seen: Vaccine Man, Marugori, Mosquito Girl, yet nearly got kicked out for lack of activity. Why? Because nobody witnessed these victories, so they didn't count toward his quota. Meanwhile, Tank Top Tiger stays comfortably ranked by stopping purse snatchers and helping old ladies cross streets. Visible, measurable, completely useless when actual threats appear. The system rewards performative heroism over results. This creates a twisted incentive structure. Heroes learn to prioritize paperwork over people. They focus on activities that generate reports rather than activities that save lives. When the Deep Sea King attacked, most C-class heroes fled, not because they were cowards, but because the system never taught them to handle real danger. The irony is staggering. Saitama defeated more dragon-level threats during his C-class tenure than most S-class heroes manage in their entire careers. Yet the association nearly expelled him for insufficient community engagement. Think about what this means. The ranking system actively punishes authenticity while rewarding heroes who understand the game. It doesn't matter if you can split mountains with your bare hands. If you can't navigate bureaucracy, you're worthless. C-class heroes get stuck in an endless loop. They're too busy meeting quotas to develop real strength. They're too weak to handle serious threats. They're too focused on visible activities to build genuine heroic instincts. The system creates exactly the kind of heroes it claims to want to avoid: weak, ineffective, more concerned with image than impact. But surely the higher ranks recognize real power, right? Surely once you prove yourself, the association rewards actual capability over paperwork? The C-class heroes are constrained by rules. The B and A-class heroes are constrained by influence. B-class represents the middle management of heroism, competent enough to handle real threats, but constrained by politics they don't fully understand. These heroes actually possess genuine combat ability. They can defeat demon-level monsters, protect civilians during crises, and operate as functional protectors of society. Yet, even here, the association's priorities become clear. Advancement isn't about strength. It's about influence networks and committee approval. Fubuki's Blizzard Group demonstrates this perfectly. She deliberately stays at rank 1 in B-class, not because she lacks the power for A-class, but because she's built an entire power structure around her position. She recruits lower-ranked heroes, creates loyalty networks, and uses her influence to control B-class politics. Her psychic abilities could easily qualify her for A-class, but why would she abandon a kingdom she rules for a rank where she'd be just another face in the crowd? This reveals something crucial. The association doesn't just rank heroes. It creates political ecosystems where heroes compete for position rather than focusing on their actual job. Fubuki understands that rank 1 in B-class grants more real power than rank 30 in A-class. A-class is where the system's true priorities become undeniable. These heroes possess legitimate strength. Many can single-handedly defeat multiple demon-level threats, yet their advancement depends entirely on committee evaluation and public image rather than combat effectiveness. The evaluation committee's bias toward conventional heroism becomes obvious when you examine who gets promoted and who gets stuck. Heroes with flashy, media-friendly powers rise quickly. Heroes with subtle or unconventional abilities struggle, regardless of their actual effectiveness. But the most revealing aspect of A-Class is its permanent gatekeeper, Sweet Mask at rank 1. Sweet Mask deliberately refuses promotion to S-Class, despite possessing power that exceeds many current S-Class heroes. His philosophy exposes the association's institutional control mechanisms perfectly. According to Sweet Mask, heroes must project perfection and dominance. They can never show weakness, never fail publicly, never demonstrate anything that might undermine public confidence in the hero system. He's not wrong about how the system actually operates. The association prioritizes maintaining social order through managed heroism, over identifying the strongest protectors. Sweet Mask understands this game better than anyone. He's literally a monster who shapeshifts to maintain his human appearance, using the system's obsession with image to hide his true nature. The committee's inability to recognize that their gatekeeper is exactly what they're supposed to fight reveals everything. They can't identify monsters when those monsters understand how to play their game. They can't recognize authentic power when it doesn't fit their narrow definition of ideal heroism. Real combat ability gets overlooked if it doesn't come packaged with the right aesthetic, the right attitude, the right media appeal. Heroes who could save thousands get stuck in lower ranks because they don't photograph well or can't deliver inspiring speeches. The system is broken at the gate, and it's even more broken inside. The ultimate proof lies in S-Class, where the Fraud King sits at rank 5, only 17 heroes for an entire continent. That's S-Class, artificial scarcity hiding the association's complete systemic failure to identify actual power. King's accidental rise through pure coincidence represents everything wrong with how S-Class operates. Every single dragon-level threat Saitama defeated before registering got credited to King. Vaccine Man? King's victory. Maragori the Giant? King obliterated him. The meteor that would have destroyed City Z. King's ultimate incineration cannon supposedly vaporized it. None of this was intentional. King just happened to be present at these scenes, usually as a terrified civilian running for his life. But the association needed explanations for these impossible victories, and King's scarred face made him look like a battle-hardened warrior. So they built an entire legend around a man whose greatest feat is not dying from fear-induced heart attacks. The King engine perfectly encapsulates this delusion. That deep, ominous rumbling that strikes terror into monsters? It's King's heart beating frantically because he's terrified. The more scared he becomes, the louder it gets, which makes enemies more frightened, creating a feedback loop of mutual terror. Monsters literally die from fear of a man experiencing a panic attack. Child Emperor's scanner can't read King, placing him in the same unmeasurable category as Saitama. The system recognizes something it can't quantify, but instead of investigating further, they just assume it confirms King's legendary status. Their technology detects the anomaly, but their methodology prevents them from understanding what it means. Sweet Mask's true nature as a monster reveals an even deeper institutional failure. He shapeshifts to maintain his human appearance, while possessing monstrous strength that actually qualifies him for S-Class. Yet he refuses promotion specifically to control the system as A-Class gatekeeper. The committee's inability to recognize that their most trusted evaluator is literally what they're supposed to fight shows how completely their assessment methods have failed. The association created a monster-human hybrid who uses their own criteria against them. Sweet Mask understands that heroism, in their system, isn't about protecting people, it's about projecting the image of protection. He's become the perfect embodiment of their philosophy, while being fundamentally opposed to their stated mission. Other S-Class heroes demonstrate similar ranking inconsistencies. Some earn their positions through genuine combat prowess, others through political connections, media appeal, or simple organizational loyalty. The criteria shift depending on who's being evaluated and what the association needs at that moment. Blast's mysterious status creates a power vacuum that nobody wants to acknowledge. The supposed strongest hero is completely absent, leaving S-Class without clear leadership or direction. Yet, rather than addressing this obvious problem, the association maintains his rank 1 position as if his absence doesn't matter. They're more concerned with preserving the illusion of having an ultimate protector than actually ensuring someone can fill that role. The fundamental question becomes unavoidable. If your ranking system can't identify your strongest hero, Saitama, who operates at planetary-scale power levels and simultaneously elevates your most obvious fraud, King, whose only ability is accidental psychological warfare, what is it actually measuring? The answer reveals itself in the association's response to crises. During the Boros invasion, S-class heroes fought desperately, while Saitama ended the threat with a single punch. The association credited their registered heroes with the victory, despite having no idea how the alien ship was actually destroyed. They saw the outcome they wanted and constructed a narrative that fit their institutional needs. This pattern repeats constantly. Real power gets ignored or misattributed, while fake power gets celebrated and rewarded. The system has become completely divorced from its stated purpose of identifying humanity's protectors. But here's where the analysis takes an unexpected turn. Despite being built on complete institutional failure, King's presence in S-class might actually be justified through mechanisms the association never intended to create. King's luck operates at reality-warping levels that defy statistical probability. This isn't hyperbole. The consistency and magnitude of fortunate coincidences surrounding him suggests something beyond ordinary chance. Saitama appears to save him at precisely the right moments across multiple unrelated incidents. When King faces Octopus Clawman, Saitama arrives. When the meteor threatens City Z, Saitama destroys it while King happens to be nearby. When Elder Centipede attacks, Saitama intervenes just as King's in danger. These aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a pattern so consistent it approaches supernatural intervention. His presence consistently resolves crises through coincidental circumstances that have nothing to do with his actions, but everything to do with his existence in specific locations at crucial moments. The universe seems to bend around King to ensure the right person appears at the right time to handle threats he can't face himself. The psychological warfare aspect reveals another dimension of King's effectiveness. Enemies literally die from fear of the King engine before any combat occurs. Tongue Stretcher collapsed and begged for mercy upon feeling King's pure killer intent when King was actually having a panic attack. Machine God G4 retreated after detecting King's overwhelming power signature, which was King's terrified heartbeat registering on its sensors. His reputation alone prevents conflicts and saves lives without violence. Monsters flee cities when they learn King is present. Criminal organizations abandon operations rather than risk encountering him. The mere possibility of King's involvement deters threats before they materialize, protecting countless civilians who never know how close they came to danger. Child Emperor's scanner reading suggests King possesses something unmeasurable but real. The device places King in the same unreadable category as Saitama, the only two heroes who break its analysis completely. This isn't equipment malfunction. It's the scanner detecting something that exists outside normal parameters. Fan theories propose that King broke his limiter differently than Saitama. While Saitama gained infinite strength through physical training, King may have gained infinite luck through surviving impossible situations. His 3 years of accidentally taking credit for Saitama's victories while living in constant terror of exposure could have triggered a different kind of limiter break, one that manifests as reality-bending fortune rather than overwhelming power. The meta-narrative brilliance becomes clear when you examine how King succeeds. He operates through exactly the same mechanisms the Hero Association uses: reputation, perception, and psychological impact, rather than measurable combat ability. The system accidentally created the perfect S-class hero through pure bureaucratic incompetence. His gaming mastery represents genuine elite-level skill that parallels combat expertise. King executes frame-perfect inputs, complex combos, and advanced techniques that demonstrate real mastery developed through years of dedicated practice. His ability to defeat Saitama using only 2 fingers while performing 5-minute infinite combos shows the same kind of superhuman precision that defines martial arts masters like Bang or Atomic Samurai. The friendship with Saitama creates an unconscious partnership where the strongest hero protects the weakest S-class member. This relationship operates on multiple levels. King provides Saitama with genuine companionship, and the only challenges he can actually lose, While Saitama provides King with protection he doesn't even realize he's receiving. King's terror and self-awareness make him more honest about heroism than most actual heroes. He knows he's a fraud, experiences genuine guilt over receiving credit for others' achievements, and desperately wants to become worthy of his position. This humility and desire for authentic heroism contrast sharply with heroes who've become corrupted by their power or status. His presence in S-Class exposes how much heroism relies on image, fear, and psychological impact rather than raw power. King demonstrates that sometimes the threat of overwhelming force is more effective than the force itself. His reputation prevents more conflicts than many S-Class heroes resolve through direct combat. The system accidentally created a hero whose very existence serves the association's actual goals better than most intentional heroes. King maintains public confidence, deters criminal activity, prevents monster attacks through reputation alone, and provides the psychological comfort that comes from believing humanity has an ultimate protector. This reveals the deeper truth about what the Hero Association actually measures and why their broken system might be more functional than it appears. The Hero Association doesn't measure power. It measures compliance with their vision of heroism. This isn't a bug in their system. It's the core feature that keeps society functioning according to their institutional priorities. Saitama fails because he's too authentic. He won't play politics, refuses to maintain his image, and demonstrates genuine heroism without regard for organizational approval. The system can't process someone who embodies actual heroic virtues while rejecting the performance of heroism. King succeeds because he embodies their ideals perfectly. Overwhelming reputation, psychological dominance, and the appearance of absolute power. He represents everything the association wants heroes to project, even though he achieves it through pure accident rather than design. Sweet Mask understands this game better than anyone, using the system's flaws to maintain control while being literally what the system claims to oppose. His success proves that understanding institutional priorities matters more than possessing heroic qualities. The rankings reflect institutional priorities: media appeal, organizational loyalty, and maintaining public confidence in the hero system. Heroes get promoted based on their ability to fulfill these functions, rather than their capacity to protect people from actual threats. This creates a feedback loop where heroic behavior gets defined by committee rather than results. The association shapes public perception of what heroism looks like, then rewards heroes who match that manufactured image. The system's greatest success isn't identifying the strongest heroes. It's creating the heroes society thinks it needs, while maintaining the illusion that strength and virtue determine advancement. The Hero Association's ranking system is simultaneously completely broken and accidentally brilliant. It fails spectacularly at measuring actual power, but succeeds at maintaining social order through managed heroism. King represents the perfect embodiment of this paradox. Powerless, yet deserving his rank through sheer narrative force and reality-warping luck. Sweet Mask proves that understanding the game matters more than playing it honestly. Saitama demonstrates that authentic heroism and institutional success operate as opposing forces. The real question isn't whether the rankings work, it's whether we want heroes or the illusion of heroes protecting us. My